Hi, my name is Sunny. I'm the owner of Strive Path, and today we're going to do a quick primer on the healthier approach to academic and college planning where it doesn't have to be so stressful. These are the three key factors that will help your child get into their dream college. How tired are you of these phrases or pitches? I know this has become especially commonplace, where we have these allures of the Ivies or Stanford or MIT, and oftentimes we kind of find ourselves in a position where we're working ourselves backward and saying, who does my child need to become to get into one of those schools? The challenges with that is that approach isn't particularly healthy. So we work with now almost 200 families in the Bay Area, and they come to us with these four problems. One is, I feel like as a parent, I am having to do a lot of work myself trying to find extracurriculars, job opportunities, internships. And in large part, it's because what everybody else is doing. Students feel the same thing. Many of our students come to us having already participated in, I'm not joking, 20 extracurriculars. And we asked them why. They said, well, all of my friends are doing it. But then we asked them why. And they said, well, it might help me with getting into college. So when you combine this with adding on a ton of course load, and course load I think is fantastic. Adding academic rigor is fantastic. But it's important for us to understand when and under what circumstances. So with loading up on extracurriculars and course load, students aren't sleeping. We have students who come in, they're sleeping 5 hours a night. And as a result, their grades stop because a lot of the memory retention goes down significantly. So putting all this together, parents are stressed, kids are stressed, and parents really can't be parents, right? They're having to nag their students all the time, and no one really wants to be in that position. Frankly, there was a Surgeon General warning issued in 2024 where they declared the mental health crisis that's afflicting our middle and high school families. And a large part of it has to do with these four factors and a lot of the decision that they have to make. There's so much ambiguity with what should I be doing? I have to be doing everything. My friends are doing this. I have to be doing everything. And as a result, we're really focused on chasing the end goal versus the process where the real learning happens. So there is a better way. And this is actually our overall philosophy, which is to focus on the student, not the college. Your student is the strategy, not the college. Another way to look at this is the college, they will have their own admission priorities. We don't know what those are. And those are going to change even more 4 years from now. So why are we so focused on what they would want when perhaps more importantly, we can focus on what we can control, which is our student, and aligning their interests and promote a healthier way that we can actually have them challenge themselves academically than non-academically. So by this, what I mean to say is it's important for us to align their interests. Like, what is their why? Why are they swimming? And support them as they pursue their passions, academic, non-academic, between extracurriculars. Now, when students are present and motivated, they become stronger applicants and healthier people. So interestingly enough, when we have our students pursue their passions, they want to be challenged. They want to be pushed to the next level. And they're looking forward to it because it's something that's genuinely interesting to them. As a result, they're way more competitive because not only does them challenge themselves show up in the application, as does their authentic voice, which is really what colleges are looking for. So, about us, we are the Bay Area's leading academic and college advising company. Our whole motto is we're student first, not college first, and we focus on developing the student. This way, we have a strong foundation by the time we get to college and we understand our why. We're local. We're from the communities that we serve. So I'm actually in Orinda. We have teams all across the Bay Area. We've got 9 offices now, and we're in person. We're not remote. Our students and families come to us because they're tired of Zoom, even though this is a recording. And we serve grades 7 to 12. And over our past few admission cycles, we've delivered on average 6.5 offers of admission and $32,000 in scholarships. So our philosophy seems to be aligned to our motto, which is happier students, less stressed families, and better admission outcomes. So, how do we get there though? So one is exposure over checklists. So by this, what I mean to say is let's not do things for the sake of doing them. Let's, not participate in this volunteer opportunity just because we think it might look good. Instead, let's actually pause, take a step back, and do more of a reflective analysis on the coursework, the activities that we've taken. And it's not so much asking, what are the courses that we took? Rather, it's asking, what are the courses that we enjoyed? Why? What were the particular activities that we took that we participated in within these courses or extracurriculars that we enjoyed, and why? So we often like to ask the question, if we gave your student YouTube for a day and it was for educational purposes, what do you think they would watch? And we get phenomenal answers. We get, aerospace. One of our students is actually really into understanding, how the human mind works. And so she's been just ingesting a lot of information related to this. And there's a lot of motivational interviewing. So, for example, one of our students came to us not sure of what his interests or passions were. And turns out he's on the archery team at Miramani. Now, he couldn't actually participate until he got longer arrows. And we asked him why. He spent the next 5 to 10 minutes actually going through the physics of archery. So then we said, do you like physics? Turns out he loves physics, but never considered it as something for him to pursue. Loves physics, loves aerodynamics, and we're actually happy to say that this fall he's applying for aerospace engineering. And he's thrilled. I actually got a call from his mom over the summer, and she said, for the first time he's looking forward to his senior year. Now, exposure. So this means internships, jobs, job shadowing. Great place for us to leverage LinkedIn, certificate programs, and courses. And part of our objective, too, is for us to hypothesize, iterate, and then refine. So we run into scenarios where students actually absolutely hate what they thought they'd be interested in. From our perspective, that's fantastic. It means we've now learned something about that student, which tells us, okay, maybe let's not press here, let's go somewhere else. Now, as I mentioned, it's very much an iterative process, but kind of laying out the overarching themes by grade. So ninth grade is really for us to enter and explore and try new things, right? This is when we are in the forest. We are smelling different flowers. We're examining different trees. We might not know what's interesting to us, and that's totally fine. This is the time to try new things. 10th grade, we're starting to get more of a signal. We're starting to say, okay, maybe this is where I want to specialize. I took robotics last year. I loved it. Now, in 11th grade, if we don't have that, that's entirely fine, right? A lot of students don't understand or don't align with their passions until much later. We had one student who, 11th grade realized that he wanted to go to med school because he was diagnosed in 10th grade with epilepsy. Amazing. That's such an incredible story. And that's such a strong reason as to why I would want to pursue med school. So things may happen, things will happen along this journey that will certainly influence the path that we decide to take. But 11th grade is really when we want to think about life after college. So some helpful resources to start. We're actually going to cover this in much more detail in an hour-long session, but just to list them quickly, and you should just Google these for your school. High School Profile provides you with context about your school, and it's the first thing that admission directors take a look at to understand what are the opportunities that were afforded to you. Obviously, the course catalog. Non-district courses and dual enrollment / concurrent enrollment is very important because it'll give you insight into what courses you can take outside of high school and how those will port over to your high school transcript, if at all. Subject pathways, the predominant ones that we see are math. We see some that are like biomed or engineering. It may not be offered at your school. Math definitely will be. So for the other ones, don't worry so much about them. But I would definitely Google these. The subject pathways, the non-district courses, and the policy and dual enrollment, that's going to happen more at the district level versus the school level. Cool. Extracurriculars are also really important too. And so I'm going to quickly skim through this, but the themes are pretty consistent, right? 9th grade is a time to explore. Join many clubs. See what you like, see what you don't. Attend club fairs. 10th and 11th and 12th grade is really where we start to focus and go deep versus broad. You do not have to join 20 extracurriculars to have a strong extracurricular profile. What you need to have a strong extracurricular profile is something that you actually really want to do. So you're also not limited to what your school offers. We have students who start their own thing. Um, so definitely check out your club's link. This is Doherty for reference. Now, what matters in college admissions? So to kind of go through this very quickly, academic rigor and grades are the most important thing. SAT depends on the college, but just to can provide you with the conclusion, highly selective schools or large schools in the South really require the SAT. Other ones is truly test optional, but it can help you with merit aid. Extracurriculars, essays, letters of rec, this will provide them with much more of a picture as to who you are as a person. Demonstrate interest when you apply. This effectively is a reflection of colleges as they think about managing yield. So American University loves demonstrated interest. Tulane and the Ivies love it when you apply early decision. So we'll go through this in much more detail during a later session. So I wanted to keep this really brief. That's a quick thing about my company, us, our philosophy, and we'd love to hold a deeper dive, right, on how your students can make the most out of high school and college planning in a way that's actually healthy. So with that, thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon.